Hello! So here I am doing another build in The Sims 4. Um, if you watched my first video, which was my only other build one, um, I think, sorry, there's a little bit of a pause here that I did not edit out. I think it goes on for another couple seconds, sorry. I think my dog needed to go and come inside or something and I got distracted. Um, but if you watch my other video, I mentioned that layouts are really hard for me. So I usually will base a build off of a house that I've been to or currently live in. I've also recreated my own house. But this one is weirdly enough based off of my aunt and uncle's house that they lived in like 15 years ago. Um, it was a house in West Palm Beach, Florida, and we live in Orlando. But I remember being a kid and driving to their house and thinking that it was like really cool. It's a house that kind of like centered around the pool, which I add the pool at the very end. I really wanted to get like the layout down, and you can see right now I'm putting out like a sliding glass door for the back. But yeah, I do the pool and the landscaping in the backyard at the very end. Um, I also sped up this video a little bit more than I did my first speed build because this one took me a really long time. So I sped it up a little bit, and watching it back right now, it is kind of fast. I'm definitely going to experiment with doing some shorter uh, videos, aka smaller builds. Like the first one that I did, that I recorded, was like a family home. This one's definitely a family home too. It's got two kids' beds or two kids' rooms, like a young kid girl, and then what would be like maybe like a teen boy. Um, but yeah, I think the next one I'm gonna try to keep it really short. I like to watch long build videos, but my equipment is not the best, and it's a lot to record these. Like, I mean, these builds like literally take me like 3-4 hours in real life. So I'm gonna probably do like a one by one, like a 1-1, not a one by one, a 1-1, like a 1 bedroom, 1 bath next, just to have something really quick. If there are people that maybe don't like to watch the really long builds, here I am again taking a nice long pause. Um, so yeah, so this is again built based off of a house that I have been to many a time, um, almost like fully, like the layout, um, but definitely not the inside. I don't remember what the inside looked like really at all. Plus, I still wanted to use like all of my new packs because, like I said, I just got 3 new packs. I think in this one I do go for like the movie night stuff a little bit more than I did in my last build. My last build I was trying to keep like a little bit more chill, but I did find a way to use the movie night stuff without it being like overwhelming. And I think it paired really nice with some of the parenthood stuff, or parent. I still haven't looked up if it's parenthood, parenting. I don't know what it's called, but the parent one. I use a lot of stuff from that one in here as well. It came with such good clutter. Specifically, like I'm digging the, you'll see in the kitchen, I think I used in my last build too, like the dish rack. I think that's such a good counter item, and something that I'm sure like everyone can relate to having in their own home. So for this build, I'm trying to do more of like the shell. Like I said, I don't think I build the same way that a lot of other YouTube Sims 4 build, like people build. Um, I I definitely needed to. I already placed some stuff inside and was trying to get like my bearings on like how big I needed to make certain spaces. But adding the roof at this early on is like very interesting and different for me because usually I'm like too scared to add the roof because I'm too scared that I'm gonna have to change the layout like 5,000 times and then end up changing the roof 50,000 times, which is kind of what I'm about to do here because I just moved in a wall and now like the roof is like really hanging off. So I do fix that, and I think I do extend one of the back bedrooms. Like when I start building in there, I was like, this is way too small. Like if this was my room when I was a kid, I'd be pissed. So I make like the teen boys room a little bit bigger. Um, so yeah, so this is me again, like fixing fixing stuff that this is why I normally don't build this way. There's a reason for everything, and I think I delete the pool too because I do move around. I think I already moved around the house a little bit, but I think I moved around even more. Uh, but yeah, this is not for any specific Sims that I currently have built. I'll probably build a family to put in here. Um, it was very like one-sided heavy, so I do add like a little driveway with a car on the right side just because I thought it was like so like there's nothing there and trees will only get you so far. So, but yeah, I'm probably gonna build like a family with, maybe no kids or and then have them have kids, but or two kids because like I said, it's pretty specifically designed for a young girl and a teen boy. Um, I also pick like the flooring pretty early on and get some paint on the walls pretty early on because I realized that in my last video I think I didn't do that until pretty late. The outside stays concrete until like the very end. I kind of decided earlier on that I was just going to focus on the inside. It's a little bit of a weird floor plan. Like I said, this is a real house that like my family used to have. And yes, there was a piano like right when you walked in. Um, I also thought it would be really cool. Like I haven't had a sim that does like music play the piano in a while because they're really hard to fit into houses. But then I saw this like room, and this isn't like the main living area. It's just kind of like one of those like it is kind of like a living room. I don't know. I grew up where we had like a very formal living room, and then we had like a family room or a den, and there is both of those in this build. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna fit a piano in here. That's perfect because I really enjoy like when Sims are like musical and like that's their career path or both. And I haven't had a piano in a house in a really long time. I think when I first downloaded The Sims 4, I made like an absolute mansion, like huge mansion, and it sucks because I don't think I did not I don't think I definitely did not upload it to like my gallery or whatever you want to call it, the cloud. That's what I always call it, the cloud, like the Sims cloud. And I ended up deleting it to build more. So have no record of that, but it was like a huge mansion with like a ton. I mean, it was just one giant, like the first floor was just one giant box with a little bit of like, I had like a giant bathroom and, but right under the stairs was like the piano, and I remember like really enjoying it because I don't always play with the sound on. I actually really like to like listen to audiobooks or like watch YouTube or watch TV or whatever while I'm playing The Sims. Especially if I'm like not building, but if I'm like doing gameplay, like I hate listening to them talk. I'm sorry. Um, but but yeah, every once in a while when I do listen with sound, it's really nice when you get to hear them like play music, especially piano. I love piano. Um, yeah, so I wonder if other people play with the sound on or not. I remember when I was watching a um, James Turner, the Simplify guy. When I was watching one of his videos, what he was doing a build, and he was like, "I'm not going to put." I think it was a piano. He was like, "I'm not going to put a piano there. I'm not going to do like an open floor plan because it's going to be so loud." He was like concerned about like if people were watching TV or like talking in a living room and like you had the piano in another area, like it was just going to be really loud. And I was like, "Wow, I don't deal with that." And I've never seen a sim get upset about something being too loud. So I don't think that's a thing. Or maybe I don't have Sims with specific traits that would be a thing. But so so back to the interior of this. I'm starting to decorate things. I'm starting to delete the things that I placed just to get a bearings on like how big I needed to make spaces, like the kitchen, for example. I just put in those like base game, those really ugly countertops just to be like, okay, well, like what would this look like before I, again, like build the whole thing and then do the roof and then have to change everything. I hate changing everything. It's annoying. But yeah, so I think the carpet, the two rugs that I'm using in like the formal area in the front and then in the living room are both from, I could be wrong. I think they're from the movie night pack, but they also might be from Cats and Dogs. Now I'm thinking about it, they might be from Cats and Dogs. Maybe I still haven't used very much movie night stuff. Maybe that's what I'll do next. I will make a really small but cute, like a cozy one bedroom, one bath, and I'll make it a point to use a lot of the movie night stuff. I still have not used the outdoor screen. which is something that I kind of thought maybe I would do here, but again, because I'm doing a build that I've been to this house before, I did, and I remember loving the outside. Like I said, like this is a house that really centers around the pool. The pool is kind of like a central thing. Um, and I think in the real house, like you could access it from the formal dining area or like the offshoot kitchen area, which is what I have in this build. But I didn't want to stray too far from that. It was already taking me so long. Again, like it is a weird floor plan. I'm even curious to see how gameplay in this house will work. Because I built a lot with the walls up and the walls down, but I didn't do a lot of building with the walls half up, which is what I usually do because that's how I play. So I actually don't know like if all these decorations that I placed are going to even show like when I'm doing gameplay because they might be on walls that cut away, which is going to kind of suck. But yeah, so I just flip the walls down. It's sometimes easier to build that way, but I do use the popcorn maker from movie night. Put it on the counter. I think that was a really great counter item. I think I get rid of the microwave. Um, I'm not a big fan of the microwave. I feel like my Sims are never like super happy with the food that they eat out of there when they do that. And then like I usually like what I've said this, but I play with a lot of cheats. So the kitchen and like bathrooms are sometimes like more decorative for me. I probably should stop playing with I should probably stop only playing with cheats just to get a better idea of like how the builds work because I think a lot of people don't play with as many cheats as I play with. Um, but yeah, oh, so that's that little thing that came with the parent pack where it's like the dishes, and I really like that. I really really like it. I think it's like I my clutter items in the kitchen are pretty standard. I don't have like the kitchen pack quite yet, the kitchen stuff pack. So I go for paper towels. I go for soap. This is a new soap for me. I think this one came with Spa Day, so I'm using like a different soap. Usually, you just use like the dispenser. Um, and then yes, because it's a family house, like I want to have the like little calendar thing that like you can set curfews and stuff on. Again, I have not played yet with all of my new packs. This is the second build that I've done, and then I did the video where I created my dog. So I've created one dog, and I've done two builds in Brentwood Bay now. And I got it wrong in my first video. I said that that build was in the Dachshund something or other. It wasn't. It was in the other one. It was like Hideaway Hound or something. This one is in the Dachshund one. So now I have like two neighbors that'll like be both my builds, and I'll move my own Sims that I'm going to create into both of these houses, and then probably do some gameplay before I do another build because I want to see how some of this new stuff that I got in those 3 packs like works, and like maybe I'm gonna want to put a popcorn machine in every house from now on. Like I don't know. And again, because I just got the cats and dogs thing, and like I'm really excited to be creating a lot of cats and a lot of dogs. I put a pet bed in the parents' bedroom. I think I might place one some in the living room towards the end. And again, because like there's so much new stuff, you'll see me, and I do this even when there isn't a ton of new stuff, like when I am used to the packs that I got. But I sometimes I'm like scrolling for like something specific and then find something completely different, and I'm like, oh, I can't forget to use that, so I just go ahead and place it in like the area that I'm eventually going to want to use it. And I think I do that later on when I'm in the living room. Like I think I switch up a couple of things and I end up putting a pet bed in there too. So I guess there technically could be two pets in this house, which is great. Um, so yeah, so I'm doing the bathrooms. I know a lot of builders that I watch talk about how like the bathrooms are usually like pretty identical. I'm the same way. Like you saw me place two toilets at once, two curtains at once. The flooring is the same. I think I changed up the color of the walls because I didn't want it to be like so muted for the ensuite and the master. Like it was getting like very gray. So I wanted to make it a little bit more like interesting looking by picking a color. Um, I just got to a point in the video, and I'm gonna cut it out because you don't need to watch me just go through and pick, but I do open the gallery and select some like custom artwork, but it's like no custom content artwork by the Sim Supply. I think that's their name. Um, I'll go ahead and link that though. But this build does have some artwork that's not part of like the game. Like it's not supplied by EA. I realized that's something that you could do, and so yeah, I have a house build that is recreating the HGTV smart home that they do like a giveaway. And when I was building that, there was so much like very custom stuff that just isn't in the game. So I started looking into like ways to really decorate it. And that's when I realized that you can download people's stuff, and you can download like custom content, or sometimes there's really interesting workarounds for people to allow you to like download it without it showing up as custom content, which I honestly don't really know what the difference is. But I think I was looking for some stuff to go on the walls in that bathroom in the master, and I didn't really find anything. So I used some, I think, base game stuff. But later on, when I'm doing the teenage boys room, right now I'm doing the young, like the kid girl room. But when I do the teenage boys room, I get a couple things, and then I think I put a couple things in the kitchen and the dining room as well. Um, I just couldn't find stuff that like really matched the look that I was going for. So I just decided to do that. The first build that I was doing, I avoided doing that because I don't know if that's considered like kosher or not to do that. The people that I watch build don't do that, but sometimes I just don't think that the stuff that is available like necessarily goes, or it gets really repetitive. And there are some people making such cool stuff like artwork. So we'll see that in a little bit. I think I leave the dining room kind of for last. I honestly forgot that I didn't even pick chairs. So yeah, so that'll start popping up there, and then I have some stuff in the backyard. So if you see me zoom out and there's like weird random things in the backyard, just know it's because I edited out me picking stuff, and I just kind of placed it in the backyard for now. So this is the young girls room, and I do use a lot of new stuff. Like I haven't used that small desk for a kid yet. I love that we have small desks now. I say that even though I don't even know how long ago this pack came out, but it's new to me. So I love that I have small desks now. So, and then I go in, I put fans. I love fans in homes. I live in Florida, so they're pretty necessary to me. So especially in like bedrooms and like big living spaces, like the family room. I also put one on the back patio, like the back porch. I think an outdoor uh, fan is completely necessary. And then this is what I was talking about. I found a bunch of custom artwork and I placed it in the backyard. I forgot that I used some in this little girl's room too. So those paintings that say like wild and stuff like that. And I think there's also one above her bed. Sorry, I have to get water. There's one above her bed too, and that's all custom. I think I said their name correctly earlier in this video when I mentioned that I was doing custom, but I don't 100% remember it, so I'm just gonna like link them because I know that they also have a YouTube. I'm just gonna link them in the description of this video to avoid saying it wrong a second time. So this is the boys' room, and I think I already expanded it. When I started building in here, I was like, why is this so small? I think it was like a similar amount of tiles. It was just a different shape, like the doors in a different area than the kid girl room. So I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna, yeah, I was just like, I'm just gonna expand it. Like it's too small. It's really narrow, but I kind of remember the room in real life being really narrow. I kind of remember it being like just a rectangle of a room. So, um, I cluttered up a little bit. I did use some new to me items in here. Like I put the skateboards on the wall. The custom artwork that I get is skate related, so I don't think that they can skateboard or anything, but in theory, this kid would be into skateboarding. I do remember liking this room when I was done with it. I think with like girl and boy rooms, they always become like very like inherently blue or inherently pink. I tried with the girl room to make it a little bit like more like a salmon color and stuff like that. And this boy room is very like, it's blue and he likes skateboards and stuff, but I did really like it at the end. I'm excited to play in it. So you saw that custom thing go above, custom artwork go above the desk. and then I added like a couple posters in there, and then I go to do the bathroom that the kids would be sharing. I added a lot of clutter, and then like it's just kind of floating right there, floating really right there because I really wanted to use it, but just due to the door placement, I wasn't able to like add another counter and have like negative space to be able to add things. So I think I only added like this one thing and then I delete everything else, which was a little bit of a bummer. Like I want to use all of this awesome new clutter, but I will in another build. I was just grabbing, like I said, I like to just duplicate the bathrooms. Like I'm just duplicating everything from those bathrooms into this like this new one over here on the other side of the house, and I'm just gonna leave in the rest of me pulling in artwork that I put in the backyard into the house because I already told you that that's what I did. So yeah, so I pulled out some stuff from the gallery and it's in the backyard, and that's what I'm gonna use to decorate the kitchen, the dining room, and I think that's it. I already used some of it in the kids' bedrooms. Um, and then I kind of realized right around the third bedroom or the third bathroom, that I hadn't really completed and fully cluttered up the other two. So I go and I add like soap and towels and stuff like that. And I'm finally starting to work on the dining room. As you can see, I still only had the one chair. I hadn't even picked what kind of chairs I was going to be using here. I ended up just going with the same ones that I picked for the kitchen, which is something that I sometimes like to do when like this build is kind of all over the place, like decorating wise. I realize that it's very like boho, but it's also modern in a couple ways. But I was like, an easy way to tie decorative things together and like make it feel like one space is just to reuse the same item, honestly, or like the same item in a different pattern or something like that. So I did end up just using the same exact ones from the kitchen, but they look really nice, so I like them a lot. They're really cute. And those three pictures in the kitchen area are super cute. I thought, again, they also kind of went with the vibe of the house, with it being like colorful but muted. They're very like almost like retro-y, and those were custom content. I think they're all from different people. I usually go with like the one person. I think most of them are from the one person, but I'll double check. And I haven't said this in my other build video, but I will upload this build to the cloud, whatever it's called, the gallery, whatever, and it'll be able to be downloaded. And I don't believe that any of these should show up as custom content. I think it should be a pretty straightforward install. Like if I have access, that's what I was gonna say, is that I don't really know if it's like kosher or not to use artwork in these like YouTube videos where I'm doing like a speed build. But I mean, if I can download it and you can download it, then I don't really, I mean, it's not, I don't know. So I'm doing it. I think that makes the house look really nice. I'm doing it. So I'm finally getting to the backyard, which is exciting because as you can see, the walls are still concrete. Like I've done absolutely nothing. Thank God I did the roof though. So I was trying to pick some chairs to go with that table. I really liked the like more like outdoorsy looking chairs, but they didn't click to the table, so I don't think that your sim would be able to like eat there, which is really weird. I don't know why they wouldn't allow it to be like, but I don't know. That's sometimes I feel that way with like desk chairs too. I'm just like, why will this chair work for a table but not a desk? Like every chair works for every surface. I really like these outdoor lights. I'm super excited to use them in like kids' rooms in the future. I think for like my next build, I want to do, like I said, like that a quick something or other and use that movie night pack. And I think I could totally make the boho stuff work and like add tons of lights and stuff like that. So, um, in my aunt and uncle's house in real life, which is what this build is based off of, there was a lot of landscaping in the back. They had a screened-in pool, which I like screens for pools in real life. I think that would be a really cool thing for the Sims. I wonder if that's in like the debug menu, or option thing. But I think that would be so cool if there was like screens that you could do for pools. Like it again, just another way for it to feel like more real and everything. But I feel like I'm getting better at landscaping. I'm realizing by watching other people build and experimenting in my own builds that it's just sizing up and down things and using a lot of things. I recently did a build for two mermaids in the Island Living World Suwannee, and I wanted to build my own coral reef. I know that there's like a coral reef in the debug, option area, and I was like, I just want to use all these debug items to create my own, and it was looking like crap for a little while, and then it started looking really good. And it's just because you just keep layering things and adding things, and I'm sure some stuff starts disappearing under the like mess of stuff, but it is what ultimately makes it look good. So and then like I said, I add a driveway over here, and I put a truck in there, just an easy way to kind of make it feel more balanced on this lot, because I realized it was pretty like left side heavy. um, and I think actually moving the kid boy rooms, like the wall out a little bit, helps with that. I am happy that I did that in hindsight. I think it looks a little bit better on that side, but yeah. So I'm just landscaping up the front. I get rid of these things on the right. I want to use them so badly, but I just don't know how to use them. So I'm doing just some debug stuff. I love the debug menu. I'm also using just some like regular base game, like I think those are agave plants or something like that, or maybe those are the ones that come in another pack, and those just look kind of like it. I was thinking, I was like, none of this really matches. Like I did like 3 kind of clusters, and I was like, but it's fine. And also like the surrounding area is so like lush. I think just about anything will really work as long as you're not using like palm trees. Like this is not like a palm tree setting. But yeah, I love sizing up and down trees. I was trying to place those trees, but they're the kind that when you place them, it just becomes like a little hole in the ground. Like your sim needs to tend to them for them to grow. I don't know how to get them to work. So I just replaced it with a different tree, and I think I sized it down and made sure that it wasn't intersecting the house in some way. I love these ferns. They're a really good option for like making things look more lush. And honestly, the hardest part that I always have is getting like a roof, like, and the paint to look good, and it happened really quickly. I never really saw this house having like the almost like a Spanish style roof, but it did, and I think it looks great. So that's it. I'm gonna add the screenshots, and thank you for watching this.